Bonjour Achilles. Tu m'entends? You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You.
You sound the volume sounds a little bit low.
Yeah, that's because you know, I'm from the laptop.
Oh, okay. You're not on the big.
Yeah, you probably need to adjust maybe the sound on your end. I hear you very well, though.
Oh no, this is fine. I fixed it. All right, so well, happy wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for your flexibility. I messed up yesterday when I told you yes. Not only the jet lag, but I forgot I had the casual Sunday with the baby warrior. So actually, my fifth session this morning.
Yeah, and in my mind, I was like, well, Sunday. I was like, well, I thought he has a lot of things on there, but I was doing a bunch of other things at the same time. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I said maybe I have it confused because of the time difference. I was like, oh, it's because it happens even earlier. Maybe he'll be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had no idea what you. How did it go with all the sessions?
Yeah, you're only as secured as your weakest link. And my weakest link is most of the time the link that is most important for me. And I mess up, you know, I still, but yeah, so thanks for that. So I did actually this morning, the rubies changed my life. We talked about sabotaging ourselves, you know, this
Wow.
sabotaging yourself and why we do that. So we talked that in length in French. After the ruby with Diane, what did we do? So I saw almost everybody from my French community today.
I was gonna say with the 4 sessions that covers.
Oh yeah, the Jedi life. Yeah, so the Jedi life with Emmanuel. So we talked about our beliefs and how we can how our internal beliefs can fabricate our lives, how they can.
God, you guys really get some great topics.
Right.
And so with all these sessions, I guess did you you promoted tomorrow's party?
Oh, so actually I got someone who contacted me via email making sure about tomorrow's virtual party. So a virtual party for French learners. Everybody's welcomed. You know, ideally is for folks who already are in the community so that they can reconnect with all of them. Seth, if you hear us, this might be for you as well, because I know last time you can make it at 1 p.m. Eastern time during the you know, the work time.
All right.
So yeah, no, I didn't promote it more than that, but I think Emmanuel will come. It's just a monthly party and everybody's welcomed, and I gave the link. So I wanted to ask your opinion about that. If it's someone is new, you know, they asked for the link, so I give them the link.
Right.
Do you recommend, you know, still, you know, asking for them to reach out and maybe I have a little talk with them before they because we, you know, how you want to avoid the awkwardness of someone who's new, doesn't know much, and
right,
being able to do this outside of the you know, the session.
well, the
but at the same time, you know, when they reach out for the link, you know, I feel that you know, I don't want to be asking. I want to be giving. You know, if they're asking for the link, I want to be giving the link.
Well, my feeling is this: is that anytime someone is showing enthusiasm towards anything with my French community, you want to hold on to that part in whichever way that you can, right? So if someone says for whatever reason, oh my God, I would love that, you, even if you met somebody on the street and they're like, oh my God, this virtual party sounds great, can you send me the link, whatever's worth, should you send it to them? I say yes, because that enthusiasm, you want to hold on to that. Now if someone is going to that party, the reason why we didn't put it just out there in, you know, for anybody to click on, is that all you want to have, and I guess it's important to figure out, like, what is the essential thing to let that person know before they go to the party. Although I think it's more important that you get certain information that you need to introduce them to everybody else, to just kind of know where they're coming from. So that person, the new person, let's say, who's going to come tomorrow, what is their level of French?
I don't know.
Well, is this someone that you only know through email, or you haven't spoken to them on the phone?
Right, just through email. That's why I felt like, I feel like when someone is reaching out, you know, I'm very confident that they are welcome because they've made the effort of reaching out. But obviously, I'm also telling them, look, if you want, we can discuss. I can answer your questions. No, I'm not doing this to get information from people, but yes, having information and sharing is part of.
Well, I would do this with the email. What I do is I would contact the person and say, you know, here's the link and so forth. And if you're comfortable with it, I would like to know, just maybe in terms of like, what is your level? If you're comfortable, I would like to know your level of French,
right?
And where you're from for when I do your introduction. That's what would be good, because then
I can anticipate in that case if I know they're
but
French.
it gives you something to anticipate, but it also lets them know that when they do go there, they're not going to have to introduce themselves. They're not just going to be thrown up against the wall, hiding in the shadows and so forth, whatever. That you're an advocate for them. So
right.
And
there you go.
and take just for the level of French. That way, it helps everybody, because it's important for everybody else to know what that person's level of French is. Now you're going to say, hey, everybody, this is Sandra. She's a A2 plus level, whatever. You're not going to introduce them that way, but just knowing knowing their level of French will let you know what their level of comfort is. That's the real reason why you want to ask that question.
Right.
If they feel like they're a B plus or B2, whatever, then they're like, okay, they're fine. But if they're like a true beginner, then you know that you will need to really finesse how they are.
Well, I can anticipate and break rooms if there are lots of people and all of that. Also, as you said, it doesn't put them out there and they are being thrown to the wolves. What's the expression you used?
Well, yeah, to the wolves, something like that. Yes.
Yeah. So actually, thanks, because I miserably sent a message, you know, that wasn't clear in terms of, if you're comfortable with it, you know, you can share your level.
Because it's when you say for when I introduce you, that way they know that it's for that, not because you're going to put them on an email list and they're going to get notifications. Right.
No.
Happy anniversary, Nilay.
Thank you.
You know, it happens to be.
Is that why you're bringing him? You're bringing him the drink because it's the anniversary.
That's
You've rekindled marriage.
It also happens to coincide with my Colombian grandmother, who turned 100 years old today. I thought it was 2 days from now. I was confused. To this day, you know, I don't know if it's a jet lag. I don't know if it's what, but I'm not keeping up so much, you know, through the vacation, all vacation. And
it's gonna be a while before you are back on track time wise. By the time you get back to Hoboken, it'll be a few days before you fall in line with everything. The time difference.
I have to say, I've really enjoyed my my sessions with the Rubies this week. I don't know if it's because I'm on vacation or what, and one of them was 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. So earlier than usual, but enjoyable. And other than that, the news is, unfortunately, I had convened with Risha that I would have canceled, the sprint if we didn't have enough. And the enough was only two folks to show up, and there was only Conan from California. So I had to tell him that, unfortunately, we'll postpone this batch. And maybe I was also self-sabotaging myself in a way, because allowing 2 weeks only just to lay it out and do the promotion and all of that, it might have been too short of a time, because I'm sure it's tremendous, tremendous program at a tremendous price, with tremendous people. So I think I failed on the side of allowing more time to really make sure that, because it's not only me, there are folks like. So I'm gonna refund Conan for the batch that was supposed to start tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so
sorry, Conan, if you hear us and reach out.
yeah, and the thing with him is that he was the one who was willing that he was going to be getting up
right
early. So this tells me that
at 5 a.m.
at 5 a.m. So this tells me that the product was not the issue. And the 2 weeks is not the issue. If all you wanted was one person, it's actually the marketing,
right?
The level of marketing that's being used, right? Yeah. And when I say the level of marketing, that's not to say, like, a lot of people think, oh, you should throw more money, do this and so forth. It has to be a bit more strategic, and it has to be a bit more aggressive, for sure. Because he was willing to do that, and because you only wanted one person. So that's
especially
where
when it's a new program.
When it's a new program. So that's why,
definitely something wrong that I did, and the fact that I was on vacation or workish family. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that it's I wouldn't say that there was anything that you did that was wrong. What I would say is that this is one of the
right, or what I didn't do. Sorry.
Well, it's not even something it's not something that you did or you didn't do. Is that we did it this way, and the result was what it was. So now you just have to kind of reassess, because the truth be told, we could have done all kinds of aggressive stuff, whatever, and we might have gotten the same result. We'll never know, right? Yeah. But
that's the art of marketing.
well, and the same way that when we were doing the website, what we thought it was going to look like in the beginning, the tabs that we had, it looks nothing like that now. Because I remember in the beginning we had 5 tabs. Now there's 3, which Apply is one of them. And Apply was not one of the original 5. But the thing is, you build the basic thing and then you just tweak it as you move along, and you kind of learn from it. So in this case, a couple questions I had for you was, like, when promoting, what promotion was done for that? Because I know that we did a promotion for the party, right?
Yeah.
But was there a promotion done for this DELF exam?
So I did a promotion. I shared on LinkedIn and on Facebook and
the ones that I had sent you.
So yeah,
I sent you something for LinkedIn. I just can't remember, to be honest. I'm trying to remember. Like, I thought that was for the DELF one, but maybe it wasn't. Let me take a look and see.
Yeah. I did something on my own. I think I just took a print screen, and just But I didn't do, like, in the time lap of a week. I just maybe posted twice. Once at the beginning on Monday and once on Friday, and that's it. That's all I did.
I see.
So, yeah.
So you said you sent something out
at the same time with everything, like the virtual party.
Right. You sent that out on Monday and then on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Friday, my time was kind of late, I guess.
Well, I have to say, like, the whole West Coast time is it's a lot harder to deal with than I would have thought before. Because with my sister, trying to get things squared away is one thing, but in terms of business, I was like, I have a new appreciation for people who are on the West Coast that have to constantly deal with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they probably are here for reasons. I mean, Seattle, everything's green. You got so much space. People are nice. I mean, Lots of things are good here. It rains a lot during the year. That's true.
Okay, so I'm looking. Let me actually just share this screen then. Okay, so this is the My French community on LinkedIn.
Right.
Right, and it's very new, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I see that there's this ad from Monday.
Yeah.
But is there?
If you click on yeah, I don't know why they don't show everything. If you click on posts, maybe it will
Page
show.
post? Well, I mean, these are the two posts. Immediate open seats for my French marathons. Oh, so this is your other one. C1.
I don't know why they show these posts. Yeah.
So this is the one that you crafted on.
But that was 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
Okay. And who are your 4 followers?
I don't know. Probably my wife, myself,
you don't know.
Stu. Yeah.
Because like I don't even have a LinkedIn account, to be quite honest. Like I never.
So I think you should look at below and click on like see more posts or something. I don't know why it shows only 2 posts there.
All right, so see all posts. Is that one? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this was for the French MBA. All right.
Yeah. That's a good flyer. And below, maybe I did something for the did I?
This is.
I did something, I don't know what. Yeah.
Keep trying until breakthroughs.
And then there's nothing about sprints. Oh yeah, there's nothing about sprints here because I felt maybe I was wrong, but I felt that Facebook had was more of the target because since everything is in Pacific, Pacific time, like Pacific Indian Standard Time, so it would. But actually, it's regardless. I mean, it's for anybody. It's
right, and then with Facebook, not Facebook, with Instagram, you posted it on there as well, right?
And I probably posted also on my own page as well, on LinkedIn, because since I have 4 followers, my own page, like my personal page, yeah, also on Instagram.
Okay, so on Instagram, let me go take a look and see there, because Instagram, there was something that I did want to show you. But first, let me find your
let's see.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I made it. Sounds like I'm complimenting myself, but I didn't think it would look good in a circle. But
right.
I like the way that.
What you mean, like with the colors of Instagram. So sprint. I actually did only one thing on Instagram.
Only one thing on Instagram, and I am looking for your hashtags.
Which it seems. Big mistake.
Okay, so
Instagram 101.
As for in terms of mistakes, yeah, I will say that is a mistake. All right, now I'm going to show you this. This is just so that you can understand it, because this surprised me. All right, so I'm not trying to say, oh, I did this and it was so smart. I'm saying I did it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I posted something for my cocktails this morning.
Yes.
On Instagram, but not Facebook, because I wanted to see. And then tomorrow I'm going to post it on Facebook, and I want to just kind of see the response that I get from the different things, right? So, so for my for me, I'm just going to put, I guess, Planet Achilles. Let's just go to my account. Okay, this is not what I meant. This is somebody who's using a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket to get his drink. But where is okay, God, I have to move quick because I don't want everybody to see all of my gay friends with their horrible things. Oh, so this was the stories. That's what it was. Christ.
I can blur the video afterwards if you need any blurring. But
no. That's just I'm trying to see my own stuff.
Statistics or something.
Okay, so this where's she at today? This person. Okay, this I posted one of the cocktails about wine. This person clicked like and had a response to it.
Yeah. Somebody
who goes for wine, 10,000 followers. I didn't even know that until now that I looked at it. Whatever. It's like, oh wow, that's so cool. But I the hashtag there we go, Hunger Games. That's what I'll do.
It's cool to be liked by someone who's famous or who's
well, my sister Adita, she's good with Twitter, with doing a lot of stuff to get celebrities to then see what she's doing and stuff, which I mean, it's cool if that's what you want, but that's not really my goal. My goal is to get exposure. These are the top posts. So the post that I did on Hunger Games isn't going to show up there either. So it is what it is. But let's just do that. So my thing is that with those hashtags, that is an opportunity to here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so I put this cocktail up now. I don't know if you watched The Hunger Games, if you ever saw that movie, but no. Okay, so
it's so funny.
But if just calling it the Hungover Games instead of the Hunger Games, there's that. But they always say, may the odds be ever in your favor. But I put flavor and then I put a bunch of different wines. But now the goal for the reason I chose this one to put out today was because I wanted to hashtag wine, Merlot, Hunger Games, Cabernet, wine tasting, Pinot Grigio, all of these. And I said, well, let me just see for all these people that are doing stuff with wine, if it does anything. And that's how this person, who I have no idea who they are, go for wine. They gave me the little heart emoji and so forth, and they clicked it. They liked it, which is great. Now, some other people I know, they liked it, whatever. That's fine. But in terms of using Instagram, the hashtags is... The hashtag is the purpose to do the Instagram, unless you're Oprah, everybody's looking at your stuff anyway. But even then, the hashtags. I used to think, well, I'll look at what different people do, but I don't want to see what's on if I do hashtag pineapples, I'm going to see all this weird pineapple stuff. Why do I care? But then bit by bit, I've noticed that some people, when they use a hashtag the way some people use Google.
Okay. So
some people might do hashtag wine just to see different wines that people are drinking, or hashtag Cabernet because they're looking for good Cabernet. While they're looking for a good Cabernet, they might see this cartoon. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. Oh my God, this is so funny. So you do it kind of like, it's like fishing. You're throwing out this net and you want to see what you pull back. So with yours, with those hashtags that you would use when you post it, that is something for us to kind of chat about, to see what would be, because this is a great way to get people who don't know you. Facebook, the people you usually would get are people who do know you, except for that one Facebook that you have going with the 6,000 people on it. But if you were let's say with the French MBA, if for the next time you post, what would be a good hashtag to use for that, other than things like, well, French MBA there'd be very few people who would use that, so therefore they wouldn't look for that. But MBA, it wouldn't hurt to put it on there.
No.
But That has a lot of stuff with businesses. But what other DELF? Is that a
Yeah, DELF. It's French as a foreign learner. That's the technical word for people who are learning French. FLE, Français langue étrangère, French foreigner language or something. And then maybe everything that's related to
well, okay, well, I did this. I put hashtag DELF to see what would show up. You could explain this to me because I don't know what I'm looking at, but there's 88,000 hashtag DELFs, which is good, but
yeah.
Does all this make sense to you? I don't know what I'm reading. What is this?
Maybe it's just, is this an account from someone, or these are different posts?
Well, with the way that it works is that if you did a post, okay, and you put hashtag French MBA, right? When you put the hashtag French MBA, now all the stuff that you post will show up as your own thing. But when you do hashtag French MBA, anybody else that also does hashtag French MBA, it all falls into this giant folder in the cloud that's called hashtag French MBA. So it'll have the stuff that you did with your hashtag. It'll have stuff that other people do with their hashtag. That's why, like, hashtag happy hour, you look at that, it has all kinds of stuff from all kinds of people. But what it is, it's just that common topic. Just like in Rise, right? You have these topics that people can go ahead and like put in their opinion and so forth. So the same way that Rise will have something like that, the hashtag is a topic that everybody can kind of throw their things in. So most people, when it comes to hashtag wine, are talking about wine. My cartoon isn't that technically about wine. It's just a cartoon about wine kind of thing. So somebody might look at it and say, oh, that's annoying. Why would he put that in there? But most people will think, well, it's funny. I like it. It's fine. So, but the more basic the hashtag wine, then it's going to have a million things on there. So people aren't going to, so many things are getting put in there all the time that you fall pretty far down in the feed. So that's why with this DELF, that is 88,000 people who are doing different things. That is not one person's account. That's all different people who did hashtag DELF, that they will look at that. There are people who will say, like a friend of mine, he was going to go take his girlfriend out on a date in Jersey. So on Instagram, he put hashtag Jersey happy hours. And then he looked to see what people posted. And then he was finding that. So someone could do hashtag French lessons, French instructor, stuff like that. And now some things have a lot of stuff in there and some of it has nothing. But it should be a very strategic thing that is done to give you exposure to people that you wouldn't normally be able to get.
I think that we can muscle up the strategy in terms of being more strategic, as you said. Because right now it's pretty lazy what I'm doing.
Well, I wouldn't say it was lazy. It's just right now it was really hard for you to have a strong promotion marketing thing when you were still developing the product in and of itself. Right. And especially for DELF. This DELF thing is very new. So and before it wasn't even called My French Community. So now that the product is strong enough and you have the website and so forth, that's where you can go ahead and really come up with something strategic. So with the promotion, putting hashtag DELF, I definitely didn't expect it to have that many posts, 88,000. Like, okay, so I
definitely made a mistake not putting any hashtags. You're right.
Well, I mean, but this is how we learn. Like, let me tell you something. For all of my cocktail posts, this is the first time I put hashtag wine, hashtag Cabernet, whatever. I should have been doing that from the beginning to get that promotion and so forth. But I was too busy dealing with the website so that when people looked at it, it'd be fine. So if it was, I'm just going to put hashtag French lessons.
So I think it's a whole thing, the entire, not only the product, but the marketing, everything. as we started the lesson, you know, you're only as weak as your weakest link. And right now, obviously, not only in terms of posts and hashtags, but also, you know, I'm doing a lot of live sessions, but they're not very strategic. You know, there's just a dump of, I mean, a few samples and
there's a few samples, and that's the thing. And that content that you're creating is very rich. It's just not being
strategic.
It's not being strategic. It's not being showcased.
No.
Like this that somebody put. I mean, I don't even know what I'm looking at, but it looks like just a standard lesson.
Because I'm sure that, I mean, this A2 DELF, you know, even though it's the first time I'm working with Risha, I'm very confident with, you know, the value of the product. And for between $150 and $180, 24 hours, French, only prep to the sprint, plus 2 hours of casual, in a small group on Rise, with personalized, limited to 6 folks. I mean, it's almost unique. There are other schools who are doing differently, but yeah,
right.
There's schools who are doing differently, but this has a tremendous value. Yeah.
So and also what's interesting with Instagram is that, like, French instructor, this only has 320 posts. It's very specific, and what you can see, like, these are the most recent, but at least if you put one thing in there, right? If for whatever one of your posts you put hashtag French instructor, you know that with 320, it's going to sit there for people to see at least for a while. I mean, this guy a French instructor?
Also, maybe the pictures I put on the website, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's a French instructor. Yeah.
So, because this might be someone that, if someone's putting here saying, I am a French instructor, and they're looking for work, then that's somebody that you can reach out with, because that's something you were looking for, right?
Yeah, I think he's offering his classes here, right?
Visit our website at EN Polyglot. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yeah. French language. I'm looking at what his online classes instructor. Because it's always good to see what other people use as. What's a polyglot?
I like that he's showing his face and everything. Yeah, Risha didn't want to show her face, but if you come on the call in the orientation, you'll see her, you'll talk to her. We did that. At some point, I wanted to maybe have that live, but I couldn't. You know, I cannot request that from the applicants. They don't want to. But it's pretty lazy in terms of you know, just going live and posting a few posts.
Well, well, before I share my opinion on that, I think here he put French to those who would like to pursue the language for both professional and personal reasons. I like the way he phrased that, because that the professional is the French MBA stuff, and then the personal is the regular thing. So that phrasing that he did there was good. I will say that I think you are being too hard on yourself, because, you know, I have no problem saying, okay, on this you should be doing better or stronger, sure. But in this case, I think you're being too hard on yourself, because most people in this industry are doing the opposite. They will post this, they'll do a little post there, and that's it. They're not doing live anything. They're not doing video anything, right? The real work is actually doing the live stuff. So that's at the end of the day, the way I see it is that you're actually doing the harder part.
If it's consistent. But last week we skipped it. We shouldn't have, because our session was great last week. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that was
maybe one person would have heard it, and then the sprint would have been live. And
why didn't we do it live last week?
I don't know why.
You were at the new place.
I was here, in Seattle already.
You were there, and you didn't go. I can't remember. Oh, because we split the sessions in half, right? So that was that for.
There and here, yeah.
Yeah, and I was doing the whole cooking thing and all that kind of stuff. It was like, we were it was both a whole big thing. But And that, nevertheless, so now it's like you doing that live content. When you do the YouTube session, that was another question that I had for you. When, like, let's say this whole interaction that we're having, it's not in French, so I don't know necessarily in terms of marketing this, but when you do the sessions with other people, the one-on-ones where you're talking with them and they're like, yeah, we could do it live and whatever, that video content, you have, after you talk with that one person, let's say Emmanuel, you guys have this great little discussion. When you guys are done, that becomes a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So you have the link to the YouTube video.
Everything's out there. Yeah.
Everything's out there on this YouTube video.
Yeah, that's why not everyone is happy to do that, which is fine. You don't have to. You can attend all the other classes that we record, but only for the purpose of people being able to see the active members. They can watch the session again. Isabel doesn't record. She doesn't like it. That's fine with me. It's up to the instructors. And yeah.
Okay, and then
yeah, so the live sessions are less popular because you actually have to show, you have to be live, and I understand that. That's
okay. So the YouTube stuff, then you have a YouTube channel, right?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of YouTube stuff.
Well,
I even have a hidden channel only for my students, so that they can watch and they own the video. If they don't like it, they can even delete it if they want.
Right. I know that there's the yeah, I call it, it's on like on the dark web, the dark net.
Yeah.
No one sees that. Yeah. Okay.
There's a YouTube channel. There's a Facebook. There's a.
Okay, so the YouTube.
I think I'm gonna focus on this these days, and I'm gonna focus, like, now that I know what I want to offer, and I think that has tremendous value. You know, it's about getting it in front of people who would be a great fit, and that's all. And it's not easy. It's not easy because.
So
yeah, I believe I have a good product. So
yeah. What is on YouTube? What is the username, the identity?
Oh, so it used to be My French Community, I think. So it used to be My French Conversation. So let me see.
My French Conversations. Maybe that's what I can't find it.
So I changed the name, but no, it's My French Community. Actually, we're live right now, you and I, over there as well, because we're
okay. Streaming. All right. So then let me try to.
That's one of them. Let's say.
Well, I'm trying to find you on YouTube. Or is it just Rafa?
Copy. I'm pasting it maybe to you on the chat if it helps you.
Yes, send it to me in the chat, and then I will. Oh,
it has 20 subscribers.
Oh, I see.
It has 20 subscribers. I don't know. Yeah.
21. I just subscribed right now.
You increased my ratio by 20%, by 10%, 5%.
Load all. Okay, so. Oh, I see. And then this is you going live. Play all. How many videos are there? Let me just see. Video. Oh, playlists. Okay.
How many videos are there? Good question.
Oh, look at you. But you have playlists, so that's actually really good.
Oh, yeah, but no. I didn't do a good job at.
Well, you brought Crystal. Oh my God, there was another group that had a name.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, I have to.
The rubies, the diamonds, and the crystals. Oh my God, you are too much. Okay, and then the DELF, and then all right. So,
yeah, I have to be a promoter on these videos. Definitely, it's
okay. Yeah, and now
these videos.
And the thing with these videos is that you have a lot of them that are there, which is great, right? the idea is to create, in some ways, you'll be doing less work, and in other ways, it might be a little bit more work. But it's like to create this video content with better intention of like, this is what, I'm going to go do with it. So it's just kind of putting it out there and seeing how it goes. So the playlist is important, but I want you to think in terms of, with the playlist, one that I would want to see, and I'm not sure if I'm looking at it now. I'll just have to share my screen so you can.
Yeah.
These are the 5 playlists that I see.
I have to put some order.
What does this one say?
Oh, I have to, yeah.
What does that say?
The subjunctive is easy.
The subject is easy?
It's subjunctive, the mode, like verb mode.
Like the sub. Okay, I see. You have the verb, the subject and the verb. Okay, so and then this is the DELF, just the one thing, and then diamonds, warriors, crystals. So are the crystals are now considered rubies? Is that what that was?
Crystals was more advanced.
So the rubies are now like the new crystals.
You can say that, yeah.
Okay. And then the alt French, this is just 15 that are just dealing with the overall alt French workshops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I really didn't do anything I didn't do any work out there. It's just.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't know. I don't understand why you're looking so defeated, because most people don't even I do have a client who is, and if you're watching now, well, guess what? This is, you need to hear this twice, because I already told it to you before. He is, as my client, he is a YouTube channel person. That's what he does, YouTube videos. You have more videos than he does. Okay.
But he has more followers, which is not easy. Which is
I'm not, well, yeah, in terms of subscribers, but that's all he does. Like, that's his whole thing, is to get these subscribers. But as he and I have recently learned, in YouTube, where people end up making money from YouTube, right? Because if you get enough people and so forth, YouTube changed what they use to determine how much money they're going to give you. It is not by how much subscribers you have. So whether you have 20 subscribers or you have 40,000 subscribers, that's not going to determine how much money YouTube will give you.
That's interesting. Yeah.
They determine it now by how long people are actually watching your videos. Because you can have 40,000 subscribers, but only 3 of those people are watching your videos as they come out. People have subscribed, they forget about you, they moved on to something else. They're like, we're only interested in the people who are creating content that people are wanting to watch. And they have to watch a certain amount of the video for it to be counted. All right, great. So what I want you to think of for now, what you have on your YouTube channel and so forth, leave that as it is right now. I'll have to, well, it's in French, so it does limit how much I can explore that, but I'll think of those. What I'm thinking for you is to create a playlist based off of, is it possible, I should ask before telling you to do this, is it possible to kind of have a playlist where you're showing the video, showing some of the engagement, that discussion of the change your life thing, the how do we sabotage ourselves? How can you enjoy yourselves? Those are not recorded, correct?
Yeah, I think that having the thing is having it thought out, which I haven't up until this day. And so and also allowing a potential person to understand whether it's a good fit, in having a content that is highly engaging and highly thought out. Milad? So that we can use that almost like a podcast, let's say, because I don't have a podcast.
And I would love for you to think of it as that, kind of as like a podcast, where if you and Emmanuel talk for an hour about all kinds of stuff, or if you and I, like in the conversation we're having right now, we talk And we've had discussions that have run up to 3 hours. I know that. Now, nobody wants to listen to either one of us for 3 hours.
Yeah,
right?
You have to.
But you could to trim that down.
Yes.
And just and think of it and think of it in these terms. For you, because you do so much stuff already, your schedule is so full. Normally, I would tell people you need to do something every week, right? But in this case, that's just that I'm not concerned.
I have more time for this now. I'm going to allocate more time for this.
Right,
Yeah.
but for now, the task would be to first really kind of decide for yourself, come up for yourself, what is really the kind of video I want to have before you start making a lot of them, right? But let's just say, for example, if you have a 3-hour conversation between you and me, it's happened, I know. But imagine then you do a little video where in the beginning, it's just you saying, you know, hi guys, this is Rafa, my French community. This discussion I had with Achilles was so great because we talked about blah, 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 blah. Check it out. And then boom, the video starts. And it just has the clips that matter. You take out all the website building and all this other stuff. And just some of the stuff you say that and who knows, whatever you decide. Yeah. So you take what was a 3-hour conversation, or in Emmanuel's case, if it's an hour conversation, and you trim it down to just 6 minutes even. It doesn't have to be a full-blown thing. But what you feel is the stuff that has the value in it. Yeah. And then, but with you and me, the conversation's in English. But with Emmanuel, with any of these other people that you've done the videos with, that they do get recorded, the one-on-one, it doesn't have to be the casual Sundays, great discussions. I think those would be amazing, but it's a lot harder to get people to feel comfortable and sign off on that. So I understand. But if you have some of the one-on-one conversations that are recorded, and it doesn't matter how old that video footage is. If you have it on YouTube, I believe if it's your account, you can still download it as a file so that you can edit it. Yeah. So you edit those down and you create this playlist of the Change Me Vie or whatever, however you pronounce the Change My Life thing. And you have these like 6 or 8 minute inspirational in French discussions, you with the other person, and that playlist is there.
I'll think about it. I'll think about how it looks like. You know, what's the exact format, you know, in terms of minutes, and in terms of frequency, and what's the goal, who is it for? And I think, you know, I could use that for the leadership program, and
you can use it for the leadership program. You can use it for someone. Think of it this way: someone who is in the Baby Warriors, they can just go on YouTube and watch those videos just to watch them and see what it looks like when someone's a Jedi, what it looks like when they're, and to just work on their own French, they can go ahead and see it. And so those little snippets, because of the content, it's great.
So exactly. So maybe, so I have to think about it. So right now live, I'm not sure.
Right.
I know it's a lot of work, but maybe like, just like from the top of my head, once per week or maybe twice per month. So bi-weekly, having one video, short video, maybe, I don't know.
I'll tell you
that I have prepared, you know, I need, because all of these videos are not prepared. There's just.
Right, these are not prepared. And just so that you have a better understanding, because I think that for you might feel like, oh, that you're so far behind, or it took too long, or that something was done wrong. I will tell you this, another client, and I will show you now his video. Now, this client and I have been working together since, God, I think July. I mean, God, it'd be almost a year now that I think about that. That's crazy. I think it was in July, maybe sometime in August. From August until now, we have been working, and just last week, he put out his first video. Now, since August, we have been working on videos, but it's definitely been since November. Since November. But trying to come up with the format, him getting the right equipment. And so, because his stuff is he's a music producer. So his stuff has to be, the technology has to look a certain kind of way. That's all fine. But there was a lot of thought that had to go into it. And yours doesn't have to be that way because of the subject matter. But just to tell you that I explained to him to not put out a video, and he didn't put out this video until he already had 3 other videos made, ready to go. Because doing it once a week is very, very tough.
Right.
To get the momentum.
Wiggle room in case you need a break.
The wiggle room and so forth. And I said, on top of that, he has to do one more than once a week. He has to make one more than once a week because he's getting married in October. I said, that whole month of October, I already know that your fiance is not trying to hear you doing anything with me at all. Like, you have all this other stuff you got to do and so forth. And as you should, and you should enjoy the wedding. But with everything that I've ever saw on YouTube, the one thing that they say, it's not about how the most important thing isn't how good the videos are. It's not the subscribers. It's the most important thing is being consistent with coming out with the videos. Once you start, which is the problem with the other YouTube guy, that he just, I don't know what the hell happened to him, but his thing just, he fell off, and it's so hard trying to get him back on track. But this guy, Dave, and I'll show you now, Dave's,
it's perfectly fine. There's no one route, you know, there's no one. Mine is definitely not.
And then, but his, what do I call this now? Trying to think, mixed by Dave Rowe. Okay.
Cool guy.
Well, that's Christ in heaven. And let's see if we can get the title right. Drum editing. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is his this is his video. One of the reasons also when it comes to making these videos and stuff that's important for YouTube purposes and when you're making these playlists is to have the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the picture that goes on the front that has a very clear title so people know what it is that they're looking at. So to have what the discussion is, so when they're looking for it. There was a woman who I learned a lot of the YouTube stuff that I learned. Was this one woman, great YouTube channel, but all of her thumbnails was just a picture of her going like, hey, whatever. And then like, it was really hard to find the video that I was looking for because they all look the same.
Right.
But this title's here, and then this is about drum editing, which you don't care about. I don't care about, but you know, and he's eating Chinese food with drumsticks, you know, fine. It's funny, whatever. So he's got his whole little shtick. But
yeah,
his video, like,
probably know me, or you hate your drum. If you're watching this, you probably know me, or you hate your drum sound and you don't know what to do about it. So I'm gonna try to show you a couple things that I do so that next time you're in this situation, you're like, man, I don't even need this video. I'm gonna do this shit my damn self. So show me your tricks, Dave.
And
all
then,
right.
And so
the first thing that I'm gonna do,
and he goes through this whole like only people who care about drum editing would care about all this stuff. But
and he's got it sectioned. That's nice. He's got
yeah, I gotta say
it did it automatic, maybe.
Oh, it was not automatic. I gotta give Dave credit for that one. Dave broke it up in sections so that if someone had to go back, this is the longest video that he'll do probably ever because the drum editing was such a crazy topic. But he said, I want to pick the hardest one to do first because that way everything else would be easier.
Why it also sounds like a headache.
Oh my God.
It's
like,
very, I mean, if you have to be a very good musician and then a very good editor at the same time. Gosh.
Rafa, you and I, we meet every week. Dave and I, we meet every Monday. Oh, about the same video. That video, we would meet week after week. Like, okay. I was like,
that video, I'm sure, has a lot of value, guys.
And every week I was telling him, on Monday, I want to see this video done. And then he would show up with, it's not done yet. And I was like, I'm not trying to hit it. He's like, but this is why. And he would explain. And every time he had explanation, it was actually something that made everything much, much better. But I was like, at some point, I said, you have to get this thing moving. So he just finally came out with this thing last week. And now every week he's got to have another video that gets turned out. It looks really good. You wouldn't know by the way that his thing looks that it's his first video ever. You would never think that. But there was a lot of work of like, and then just loading. But he wanted those chapters because he says that the video is like, I don't know, 17 minutes long or something like that, right? He's like, it's annoying when you watch the whole thing and then you want to, there's one part of the editing that you have to figure out and that you don't want to have to watch the whole thing again. So he has in the description the little markers for like if you want this particular thing, you could click on it. He had to do that himself. But I'll give Dave credit. Like he he really wants to do that. So he's going to have playlists for drums, keyboards, what's the other thing? Drums, keyboards, guitar, for the guitar, and then for the actual artist, like for vocals and stuff like that. So as a music producer and a mixer, he does all those things. So all of his stuff now, there's a whole like schedule set up, like this is the plan and how you do it, blah, blah, blah. And the Instagram stuff, he wants no part of that, but he has to do it. I was like, there's no point in making all these great videos if you're not going to go ahead and promote it. So he's similar to you, like I was saying, like, I said, there was no point in talking about Instagram before. You had no videos to show. There was no product, but now there is. So this is what you do. So it just takes a while. So that's why, especially because you're on vacation, right? This is the best time when you're flying back, obviously not to ignore an Eli or anything like that, but like you think about like, what would you want it to look like? I think it'd be very exciting to have these videos of 6 minutes, 8 minutes. It could even be 10 minutes, depending on how it breaks up, but of these really fun, dynamic topics, those YouTube videos, especially because and you already have a bunch of them. Like I honestly, once you know what format you want and you decide you're going to break those up and edit it, then getting all that squared away by the end of July, you could easily have like, for all I could tell, 10, 15 videos ready to go. Because some of those things that you're only doing 8 minutes, you could probably take one conversation with someone and make 3 different videos.
I can do that. I'm happy to do that. I think I'm happy to do that. So again, it's going to be the leadership program in French, I think, and then some type of some snap, like some nuggets, maybe both in French and in English. I have to think it out. And I have to be consistent, and because it's also great for me because I remember more what I learned through my journey, and I have I devised a track record of what I have, because you always need to remember. You always need
in that sense, yes, it is. It's really, really good to then when you to go ahead and have that history. And with Instagram, Instagram will let you post a video if it is under 1 minute.
Right.
So like when Dave was doing a promotional video, the one whose thing we were just looking at, when he was going to do a video, it was 59 seconds. It had to be. If there's anything more than when you go up on Instagram.
So it's just that, with all these social media, I don't know how people do it. Maybe they choose a certain platform.
Everybody has a favorite platform, right?
You have to post it everywhere. It's such a waste of time, and then the format, and then this and that, and you click, and then you want to make sure it's there, and blah blah blah, and the hashtag.
Well, this is what would happen eventually, right? Is that what you would do is you would have the YouTube video, okay? That YouTube video. You have the one that you made that was like 8 minutes long. If you really love that video, you could even splice it down so that it's 59 seconds, less than 59 seconds, as a teaser that you post like on Instagram and stuff like that so that people can see it. That's something that the YouTube channel client I had, he would always have the teaser go there. So it's like, this is just a little sample of the video, like whatever. But in your case, you just have the video. Let's say 8 minutes. It's great, fantastic. It's going to go on the playlist. What I called the thumbnail, right? That little picture that's going to go there that says what the title and what it's about. You could tweak that very easily to then have that thumbnail look like the Facebook post, which would be the same size that goes on LinkedIn, right? You can a quick adjustment to put it on Instagram, and then boom, 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 you hit those channels. You ultimately decide which social media platforms you want to be on. It doesn't have to be all of them. It depends also what the content is. For me, with my cocktails, the best platform for me is Instagram. But for my book, Raised by the Bar, the best platform actually would have been Facebook, because this is for people who read. So you want book clubs and people with more consistency and all that kind of stuff. It would have been a better platform for that. But for cocktails, because there's so much drinking and it's just photos and it's something people can read a whole cocktail thing just in one shot. So there is thought to that like which platform works better for what it is I'm trying to do. It's exhausting to try to do all of them. I told Dave, for what Dave was doing, I said, YouTube, great. Instagram, great. Don't worry about Facebook. Facebook is older people, and you want people in the music industry and so forth. They're all younger. They don't want to deal with Facebook. They're not looking at that. You want people that are in their teens and 20s and so forth. So in your case, it does seem very, it's just so much. And it is so much if you try to do it all. You're not going to try to do it all.
I'm thinking, sorry to cut you off. I'm thinking, yeah, you're totally right. It's overwhelming.
No, it's Instagram. You just Instagram and YouTube. That's all you would be worrying about. The Facebook, you just throw it up there. You know, it could be what it is. But for you, Instagram and Facebook, I mean, Instagram and YouTube would be enough.
What I'm thinking, because I like the live formats, you know. So what I'm thinking is to have a plan and to have something prepared. This time I'm obviously on my own, so that there's, you know, I have my own agenda. Maybe I have a meeting with myself at some point, and then I have a constraint that I should not go further than, I don't know, 8 or 10 minutes. And I'm just going to stick to my agenda. But since I would have had prepared for that, you know, and doing that on a consistent way. I like, you know, live, also live, this type, it wouldn't, like, it's almost like a podcast. A podcast is live. I mean, they do some editing afterwards, and then people can look at it.
Sometimes they do some editing. What I would say for you is that eventually what will happen is that the videos that you're putting out there would be live ones. That is where I think, like I told you that when we first met, I was like, the amount of live content that you're doing. Remember I said, I was like, you have so much of it and it's just all over the place. It just has to be kind of,
it's also fun, you know, like,
and it's fun. But
when you're on this new app, you know, it's live, and now they're recording it, but it used to be only live, and that's fun.
Well, what happened is that when you go to these other videos that you have on YouTube now, those conversations, and you edit them, not only are you creating these, you know, it could be, and I say it could be 8 minutes, it could be 15 minutes. As long as you feel like the conversation is dynamic, that's fine. When you edit those videos, not only are you creating videos that you can then use, it's also going to teach you how to format your live videos, because you will start to do the live ones differently once you see what the editing,
right,
how that's gonna be done. You're gonna realize that even for us, when we did this one, right? We did this live one. So, how do we open it? Hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 this, that. No, when you know that this is gonna be used for real content and it's a live video, you're gonna be like, hey, everybody, so today it's Sunday, June 6th, blah, 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 whatever. You wanna at least put some stuff in there, like as an intro. Not gonna be a long one, but a clear beginning, because otherwise, when it comes to editing, you're gonna realize, oh my God, how do I start the video? Because there was never a clear moment where we say, thanks for joining us. Today, we're gonna talk about such and such.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So editing those other videos will teach you how to go ahead and do the live ones. Because 2 months from now, all your videos are gonna be coming up from the live stuff. And you and I could easily do a live Instagram one. The live Instagrams can go for however long you want. You can do a whole hour thing on live Instagram. And because it's in English, if we know, okay, hey, Achilles, guess what? On Friday, July 17th, we're gonna do Instagram Live. Let's make it about, you know, this, and whatever, so forth. I think this is something a lot of people would like. Great, then let's do Instagram Live so that everybody can join in, because we know that's a fun topic. If we're gonna be discussing statistics or whatever, then no. But your live, those lives that you're doing, that's harder than people who are trying to that post on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.
That seems harder. It seems harder, yes.
Your live, the posting all over the place, you would think that's harder. But for most people, what you do is harder. You're just very good at it, and you have a natural ability to go ahead and chat with people.
For me, it's more harder when it's not live, because I start.
I know.
I start thinking, and then this is no good, and I have to pretend to be someone else.
Yeah, when you try doing those videos about getting the coaches and stuff like that, and you had no one to work with, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
right. Yeah, you can see the beginning, and it's not that I don't pretend to be someone else when I'm live, because sometimes you do, but it's even worse when I'm not.
No, the same challenge was with Dave with the videos when we were doing them over and over, and I kept saying, I said, Dave, look, your content is great, it's also good. I said, but when you and I are Zooming, you have so much more. But then when it's just you, you're like, and he's like, I said, I understand it's a struggle. Because he's a music producer. So he's used to having the artist on the other side of the glass, and he works with that dynamic. He likes working in a dynamic. And I said, when it's just you talking to an empty camera, it feels like shit. I totally understand that. So I told him, I said, what you need to do is, as often as you can, get someone to join you. Have someone sit there to talk with, blah, blah, whatever. That's why when those
live, if you want a podcast, like kind of like a podcast, there is a preparation to it. There's if you want quality, there's a preparation, there is a commitment, there is a promise that you need to deliver. There's also it's a whole little product in itself, and the marketing. You said like the little image in front, the thumb, whatever it was. And there's a high purpose to it, So,
when doing the videos with that podcast concept, there is a lot of preparation to then once it actually happens, that live, then it's just relaxed, it's spontaneous and so forth. But you go into it knowing what the beginning is, you know what the topic is going to be, you know it's going to end, how it's going to close out, all those things a person wants to know. And I've seen when you were talking to Emmanuel, you guys were talking in French. Even with you guys talking in French, I saw how dynamic it was and how rich that was in his content. That's why I know that those things, even when you break it down to a smaller timepiece, are going to be really, really strong because it works.
Emmanuel made me to make so much progress as a person too. So I'm so glad he chose every week to show up in French, and I think he said the same for me. So it's
yeah, I believe it.
But yeah, we need a little something, kind of like a nugget thing. And I can do that. I can just, it's also good for me to refresh my memory on a few things.
When is it that you fly back? Is it Tuesday, Wednesday?
I think it's 3 days from now. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah.
All right. So for the next few days,
I'm looking.
I want you to just to keep in mind that what you're going to be doing now, with you're going to edit those videos and stuff, but what's going to be happening now, you're not doing anything new. What is going to be happening is that what you have been doing is finally going to is going to be put in the frame that it belongs in. Okay. So there was some great content, and I'm sure you had to have felt sometimes when you're having these interactions with these people and stuff, that you're like, my God, that was so good. I wish more people could see this. If people could see this, whatever. YouTube will definitely allow that to happen and to flourish. You build up that thing. And I noticed that also, even on the website right now, the website doesn't have the YouTube link on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and it doesn't need it right now. That's something that we can kind of implement later on. But you go ahead and just start collecting those videos, and I'm going to create a thumbnail design for you. So
that's great. So I'm very excited. I think I'm allowing myself, thanks to you, to create something that is more thought out, like in terms of a podcast that will help not only to promote the French MBA and everything else, but also just for the purpose, because I like the purpose of that product, of becoming a better person, but in French. And it could, this could be a version for folks who just, want that version, and it's out there, and it's also something I'm doing for me. So, it fits the bill. And the third point, a few months back, and I didn't follow through on that. That's why now, since we're live, it's a good way to announce it. I read that book from that YouTuber who's a professor, university professor, who teaches the art of speaking. And he's got all these techniques, and he built a YouTube channel of, I don't know how many followers, but a lot. And he's really good with all these techniques. So it will be also good for me to train and to try and practice these techniques myself.
Yeah,
And,
and I remember when I started doing this whole venture, when I left the old job and I said, I'm going to go ahead and help people build a business. I said, I'll help people build a business. All I know is I'm not trying to mess around with YouTube. I don't want to deal with YouTube because YouTube I always felt was a lot of work. But then that was the only thing that one client did was like, all I do is YouTube. I was like, oh my God. And then Dave's thing was ended up to do YouTube. I was like, oh my God. But, and in order to show them stuff, I had to do it myself. Right. And that's also where I realized it really helps me be more empathetic and have more compassion, but it also helps me come up with better ideas of like, well, this is what works. And this is why you might be having trouble when I have to go ahead and do it. It was a huge thing for Dave when I told him that I realized, I said, hey, guess what? The recordings and the editing should not happen back to back. Do all the recording stuff and edit on a different day. Because a lot of times, by the time you get to, if you record some stuff, let me edit it real quick because I have to upload it. You're already in a bad mood. Right?
Maybe it's not a live thing.
Oh, the recording thing is yeah. When it's not live and you have to and you film it and you're going to edit it and do all this other stuff to it, it's very easy to get put into a bad mood for sure. So there's a lot of things that people will do with YouTube, stuff that can help and YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all these things. If you have one solid product and you just market it to those things, marketing it all is very easy once you have that solid piece.
Right.
And you have so much of that already.
You need
and having it going. So it's a really great way. And Rafa, I know it doesn't seem like it because obviously YouTube is such a big thing, but most people will not do video. Most people will not do it.
Hold on, just to go to the bottom of what you're saying, I think that in fact, it should be edited. It shouldn't be live. I'm not sure.
You can do it. You can have a live one. Like we could do Instagram live, and then you take that recording, and then you can edit it, and then upload it to YouTube. Yeah. Because when you do the live ones, it does capture such a spontaneity to it. It is great. But sometimes you edit it because it just ran too long. Sometimes you edit it because you have to put in a thing. And sometimes some of the videos that I made, I had to edit it because one time I forgot to say my email address. I mean, you're talking about, oh yeah, so send me this, send me that, blah, 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 this work. Did the whole video, and I never even said what email to send it to. So then as I'm talking, the email pops up at the top above my head and says, planetachilles@gmail.com, blah, 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 blah. So I threw it. So sometimes the editing can be needed that way. That's all fine and well. But what happens is that when you have the consistency with the live stuff and people find out, okay, so now I know Rafa is doing this, change your life type thing on Sundays at 4:00 and whatever, and it's live, they'll watch. But you can always tell them. And if you're not able to watch, whatever, we always, the recordings will be posted on the YouTube channel, blah, blah, later on. But that way because people would love the live stuff because then they start commenting, blah, 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 blah. And then, you have that engagement.
Right. So you could do both, but in terms of building a channel with a certain type of, in terms of raising the bar, if I may.
Yeah. But doing it live is of all the things you could do for online social media, live video is the top.
Yeah, maybe there should be like a separate, special channel or whatever, or
you can have a playlist for some of the live ones, but you do live so easily. That's the thing. You could do live ones for the Change My Life stuff or whatever, and that's a playlist. If you and I do our things in the live and you record that and you splice it up, you could put that on there. That's fine. You do so many lives already. And if that's why when you and I first met, I was so shocked. I was like, he's not just has so much video content, he's doing it live for the whole world to see. And he's like, blah, 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 whatever, so forth. Most people won't do video, and they definitely don't want to do live because they're afraid that if they make a mistake, the whole world's going to see it. But you have this, I'm just going to run into this river of snow, or even when you
I have the opposite syndrome.
Yes, but let me tell you something.
Raise the bar now a little bit.
That works. That's huge. It's such a big value that I think you've underestimated just how great that is, because a lot of people won't do it. And guess what? If you go on YouTube, and watch like I did before I met you, I went on YouTube to watch other instructors. And then there was that one instructor that I showed you, right? And I said, this one is the one I found. And he was just like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, he's not dynamic at all. He might be saying the best things in the world. That's fine. All I know is that if I felt like I was going to fall asleep.
He's a little bit saddish. Like he looks a little bit sad.
He does. It looks very sweet, very nice.
But he's got a lot of success. Yeah.
But this is what I told you. Said he has a lot of success. So you're doing all these lives and you're all like this. What the hell's going on? That's what I was like. I don't understand. Like,
yeah,
because
it depends on your audience. But yeah.
He had an audience. That's the thing.
I have an audience, and I want to.
Your audience is now going to be able to expand. Exactly. So that's what we bring it to the masses, and then they'll be able to go to a website. It's all there, very clear. They can go ahead and apply.
What counts is the quality.
and the quality,
and what they bring in your life.
And there is something in the quality of what you're bringing that cannot be replicated. And that's why I think it's so important. They're not going to get that Rafa experience somewhere else. They're just not. So the only way the closest thing someone can get to a Rafa experience is Isabella, which I learned from the party.
Right. Exactly.
I always wondered what would that look like, the Rafa experience with somebody else. And then I saw it, so I was like, okay, well then now I know.
Yeah. You could say I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then same thing like.
Yeah.
If my sister decided she was going to go and like do what I do for a living, that I could no longer say I'm the only one that's going to give you this experience, because Shambi is close enough to me that it would be similar.
I think we're all unique. You're right.
Yeah. So I just want you to think of it in those terms, that you're not doing anything new. It's just now going to be structured and structured in a way so that it gets highlighted. Not structured so that it's going to be feel corporate. I'm all for keeping it live. I just know that by you editing those other videos, you'll that's the best way to learn. That's how Dave learned the importance of having an intro.
I have a syndrome of over editing, and then I doubt myself. You know, like I started cutting on. You shouldn't say that at that point. You should cut this out. And then I end up with a blank page. It's so funny. I don't even if you know that syndrome.
Well, the thing is that when it comes to the editing of the stuff, when you think of it like, oh, should I have said this? Should I have done that? I don't know if that was so. If you look at it from what will benefit the viewer, that's the key to the editing. Oh, they would want to hear this. Oh, this is good for them and so forth. And then you get your whole storyline, and it goes up. It works better that way, you know. But I think a lot of times with your video stuff, I think you probably wouldn't have too much trouble with that. I can't imagine, because what you're going to want to capture is just the essence of like, this is what my French community is all about. You know, so you think it's not about me and so forth, whatever. At the end of the day, you'll probably cut more of yourself out than you would of the person you're talking to, which is fine, because you always want to showcase the other people and all that. That's good. So all you have to do for the next few days is just really think about what that looks like, what that framing is going to be, and
let me write down a little bit what it would look like, and then maybe get your feedback.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll send you a template, kind of like what the structure would look like. And the things there's some things you have to say, which I like, and you have to say like, click and subscribe at the end. I refuse to do that at the end of my videos, but they have a machine that lets them know. YouTube does. If you don't put like and subscribe, if those words aren't said in your video, then they won't promote it as much as they do the other ones. Because they know that when someone's saying like and subscribe, they know that means you have a YouTube channel, that means you're such, and they'll help promote it more. I just think it looks whatever. But in your case, the people I was talking to was just like I was just making funny videos. I was not doing anything that was part of my business. I was just doing stupid videos. But in your case, you'll say, and if you want to know more, blah, blah. So in that template, I'll show you what that structure is, and you can kind of get a feel. But what I'm going to do my best to have is that it's stuff that you would just add at the very beginning and at the end. And that way, whatever's in the middle can stay that way. If you find a great chunk of conversation that was exactly 9.5 minutes, that you could just leave it like that. And then just in the beginning and the end, you put these little bookends, and boom, there's the video. So I think I'm hoping that it can work that way. If there's a little stuff in there, by the way, Rafa, that it's like, well, there was 1 minute that we're talking about something else, it's a real conversation and people like that. As long as it's not something super crazy, I think it's fine to leave it in there.
That sounds great. I think it's a great idea. I think I try that type of format. I think,
Yeah.
re-editing some conversation, having a mix of, maybe me introducing and keeping some suspense. There's also this thing that if you want to keep them through the video, that's what this guy Victor Ferry is teaching. The art of speaking, captivating, interesting. There's a way to put things, and
no, there's another client that I have that she was watching, and she was watching a video, a tutorial, because she's having a membership site like what you have, right? But in this case, it's like where you subscribe to someone's membership site and you read all the stuff, whatever. So she was watching a tutorial about how to make membership sites, which I thought was wild. So basically, whatever the person is showing you how to do whatever, because you have to subscribe to his membership site so he can show you how you can make membership sites.
Right.
So everything that he's doing on you, that you know exactly what he's trying to do because he's teaching you how to do it to other people. So I thought that was really wild. But when and then I was like, she's like, my God, I'm falling asleep. This is so good, but I'm falling asleep and I just can't. I said, why don't you just watch it later? And she said, I can't, because on the live sessions, there's something that they give you at the end that if you just watch the recording, you don't get. And so she went to see what that thing was at the end. I don't know if it was a promo code or something, whatever. I can't remember what it was, but I said, wow, that's pretty interesting that they can hold on to that. But he is teaching people, the same way that she was sticking it out to the end. She knows that she's going to have to turn around and get people to stick around to the end as well. So there is something to that, getting people to watch more. But, with what I told Dave, I said, at this point right now, you just want to make good video content, people watch and so forth, like all those other elements you can add in as you kept. The hardest part, when I watched the YouTube tutorials, they said the hardest part about doing the live videos is being comfortable in front of the camera, which you don't even have that problem. That's the thing. I was like, it's not like you're going to be like, oh, are we live now? I'm so nervous. Like, no.
And I'm like,
no, it's when it's not live, when it's like, okay, do a pre-recorded, whatever.
but that's when you're actually committing to giving your audience a higher quality content. And I think,
your intro is only going to be like 2 or 3 sentences, and the end is only going to be 2 or 3 sentences, and that are like the staple for what goes in the front. If you want to add something, actually, you certainly can, but it won't be that hard. But yeah, I think I think it's going to be. I think that'll be fun.
It's a good experiment. Yeah, I'm happy to commit. I'll send you a little something. I think I'll send you something, summarizing what I want to do, and maybe also the commitment length, and the frequency and all of that. Give me just not imminent, but I'll
well, actually, you know what? Why don't you can send it to me? I would actually say, why don't you can send it to me on Thursday so I can look at it before we meet on Friday, right?
Okay, yeah.
That way you have the flight, all that time to go ahead and think about it. You get home, figure it out, and so forth. Because this is the kind of thing that now that your mind is thinking in those terms, it'll start to develop stuff and all that. Oh, I see now. I have to get ready for my dinner. My ride's gonna get me. Thank God somebody's driving me, because then I can drink. It's like, that's the worst part about having a car, is you can't drink anything. But all right, cool. And then I will be in New York later this month. I'm not sure exactly what the dates are, but I'll know by Friday. So
okay, that's great. Come by my place.
I'll figure out if I'm gonna go to Hoboken on my way there or my way back. We'll see.
Hoboken it is.
Okay. All right. So I'll talk to you later. Great session, and it was live. Thank God. So hopefully everybody else got inspired.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And let's. I'll send you something by Thursday.
Oh, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow for the party, right? 7 o'clock.
Exactly.
4 o'clock for you. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow.
And no matter what, keep it burning.
All right. Take care.
Merci beaucoup, Achilles. Tchuss.